Well, good Wednesday morning. I'm meteorologist Casey Sherman bringing you an update on the heat that we continue to deal with. Yesterday, we broke into the triple digits for the first time this year, and we're heading into another very hot day ahead of weather as we head into what will be the next several days here. In fact, we will be looking at triple digit heat to near triple digit heat. It is going to be just a tough stretch of heat here as we head into the remainder of the work week, and also as we head into the weekend. It's going to be one of those prolonged stretches as we head into the next several days. Out the door right now, clouds currently blanketing the area at the moment. We've got some mid-level clouds that have been rolling on through the area, but despite this, I do think that we will see those highs break back into the triple digits today. We'll start to see these scour out a little bit more, and then by the afternoon, look for a partly sunny sky where that'll be enough to warm temperatures up in a big way later on today. Let's take a look at the heat that we had yesterday. Speaking of 101 degrees, again, our first time in the triple digits, but also shattered that record set back in 1925, which stood at 98 degrees. We had no problem breaking that yesterday, and we actually officially now had our third earliest first 100-degree day on record for Austin Camp Mabry. That came above what happened in May 20th, 2008, where they hit that first triple-digit high again May 20th. So we were certainly on the list there and well ahead of schedule. On average, we don't see our first triple-digit day until about July 8th. Not kind of ahead of schedule that you want to be, but this is what we're going to be looking at as we head into the next several days here. Is just this heat wave that will continue to bring us temperatures around 15 degrees, 20 degrees above average. Out the door right now, temperatures in those middle and upper 70s. We didn't have quite the cool start that we had certainly Monday and even what we had yesterday. So this is just a sign of that heat that is beginning to build across the area that is going to get tough to get rid of as we head into the next several days. It's going to be one of those cooling processes that we will see a little bit of. That'll be very slow, very steady, but still we won't see much cooling as we head into the upcoming weekend. We are currently running a little bit above where we were yesterday. Notice those winds have begun to pick up a little bit more out across at least the coastal plains, where we've seen some wind gusts between 20 to 25 miles per hour. Those winds, the direction, notice that southwest. When we get that southwest wind, it taps into that dry desert air across the Mexican plateau that really ramps up our temperatures, and that is the exact setup we're going to be looking at as we head into today. High pressure building right now across central Mexico, and on the north side of this is where we get that southwesterly wind. It's going to be funneling in that hot desert-like air and leading to a scorcher of a day across the Lone Star State. We're talking about, again, another round of triple digits for areas like Dallas. Here in Austin, actually, we'll be looking at some of the hottest temperatures across the state. The very hottest going to be out across the Rio Grande Valley, where they could be looking at temperatures as hot as 108 degrees, but really region-wide, we are dealing with the heat across the state of Texas. 104, by the way, if we hit that and that verifies for afternoon high, that would be tying the record for the hottest May day that we've seen at Austin Camp Mabry. Last time we hit that, May 24th, back in 1925. The heat actually peaks today. That area of high pressure, that dome that's been building across the area, will be at its strongest today. Even though once it begins to weaken, we're talking about triple-digit heat continuing still through tomorrow for many of us, which is why we still have that weather impact alert through Thursday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, although I don't think we'll be quite into the triple digits for Austin and many of us across the area, we're still going to be very hot. We're still talking about those temperatures that are well above average, maybe a degree or two shy of 100 degrees, but tough heat nevertheless, and more record-breaking possibly heat, record-tying heat ahead. Certainly we'll be breaking more records into tomorrow. Friday could come close to that record of 99 degrees to tie it. Saturday we're expected to tie another record, and Sunday we're expected to tie yet another record across the area. One of the things that we really watch for with these tough stretches of heat is the risk of heat-related illness, and that is going to be highest today out of the week. Notice we have some areas in purple, that extreme heat risk potential out across the Rio Grande Valley, but notice here across central Texas, the Austin area, oranges, reds indicating moderate to major heat risk potential. It starts to come down a little bit more tomorrow as we begin a little bit of cooling trend, but still another tough day of heat where you'll need to take those extra precautions when it comes to being outside, especially in the afternoon. Avoid that kind of strenuous outdoor activity during those peak daytime heating hours. Make sure you're drinking plenty of water and getting in the air conditioning when you can. Now, while we do have a cooling trend, as I just showed you, as we head into the weekend, what we're going to start to see see is the humidity bump back up. So notice we're back with those dew points. It'll be in the upper 60s, maybe to about 70 degrees. That moisture increasing, coupled with those temperatures that are still going to be in the upper 90s, means our heat index values are still going to be in the triple digits. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, either way you cut it, it is going to be hot here for a stretch of days to come as we head possibly even next week. The middle of next week is how long this heat could persist across central Texas. Timing things out with your future tracker, not much to show here. We could be looking at a few passing clouds. Of course, we're already seeing a few of those at the moment. We'll call it a partly cloudy sky with some high clouds building in, but notice the wind direction again, southwesterly wind. That's what's leading to this excessive extreme heat warning that we have across the area now that has been upgraded from our heat advisory that we had yesterday. Temperature wise for highs, I think the hottest conditions still expected out towards the hill country where they're looking at some of the driest air. That dry line has budged way into our far western zones. It's easier to heat up drier air, which is why you see some of the hottest of the temperature readings by this afternoon for areas like Mason and Llano. 102 degrees for Burnett today, 100 forecast for Georgetown, triple digits up and down the I-35 corridor with upper 90s and lower 100s out across the coastal plains. Overnight tonight, similar to what we dealt with this morning, not a huge cool down. Some of us may be breaking into the 60s, but the good majority of us will only manage to cool down into the 70s. So it's not going to be one of those overnight kind of low temperatures where you can open up the window and let some of that air in. We don't see a whole lot of relief overnight, which is why this heat is going to remain pretty tough here. Tomorrow, we will shave off likely a few degrees or so from our daytime highs. Not all of us will be reaching into triple digits, less of us in fact compared to today, but notice we are still very hot across the area with several reaching 100 degrees yet again for Thursday, despite the fact that we're going to start to see things cool down compared to today. Friday, even a little bit cooler, but nevertheless, highs still up there in the upper 90s and well above average for this time of year. As far as our rain goes here for the next several days, we will not see much of that as we head over at least the next 7 to even 10 days. Today, tomorrow should be completely dry. By Friday, maybe a sprinkle across the area. Saturday and Sunday, we start to see a little bit more moisture work its way back in, but even those rain chances, we're talking about a 10% chance of seeing maybe a shower or two by Saturday and Sunday afternoon. This is kind of a troublesome trend because May does tend to be one of the wettest months on average for us, and it's one of those months that we get a lot of rainfall for, which hopefully can help things out and alleviate those drought conditions down the road. But without the rain here so far for the month, again, this is a bit of a concerning trend for us. Those rain chances remaining low straight until about Tuesday of next week, where we will start to see that bump up to around a 20% chance. But again, still not much expected here over at least the next week, if not longer. 7-day forecast, that weather impact alert will continue through tomorrow. We're done with the triple digits, it looks like, by Friday. But again, more records still to come. We're talking about possibly tying another record on Saturday and Sunday and Monday getting close. So the heat, it is sticking around here. I think we could see some improvements as we get closer to what would be about the Friday, Saturday timeframe of next week. We're talking about maybe cooling back into those middle 90s, but the heat is here to stay for the time being. We will have much more in terms of updates on these very hot conditions. And of course, you want to stay cool out there. They'll be coming up and more updates coming up on KVU Plus all day long. So stay tuned.